Gather around and listen close because today I'm about to tell you a story that sounds like something straight out of a movie. Imagine this. You're fishing around in your car's cup holder for some loose change to pay for a gas station soda, and out comes a simple-looking 2010 Mount Hood quarter. You look at it. Nothing fancy, right? Just another quarter. Wrong. That little piece of metal could be worth $1.2 million. Yes, you heard me right. 1 quarter. 25 cents. Worth $1.2 million. That's not a typo. That's real money. Enough to pay off your house, buy a boat, or even that overpriced massage chair your brother-in-law swears by. Today, we're going deep into the world of the 2010 Mount Hood quarter. We'll break down what makes it so special, how you can spot one, the story behind it, and yep, I'll even tell you about the time I nearly spent one without realizing it. Buckle up, because if you've ever dismissed your spare change as pocket lint, this is going to blow your mind. And hey, stick around till the end because I'll share some pro tips on how to actually make money from old coins sitting in your house right now. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you enjoy life-changing coin stories and millionaire possibilities hiding in your couch cushions. Let's go back to 2010. We were still recovering from the financial crisis, smartphones were starting to get smart, and the US Mint was busy printing quarters for the America the Beautiful series. One of those quarters? The Mount Hood National Forest Edition. Minted in Philadelphia. Hence the tiny little P you'll find on the coin, assuming you've got a lucky one. Now, Mount Hood is in Oregon, and let me tell you, it's a beautiful place. Snow-capped peaks, thick forests, and hiking trails that'll turn your knees into jelly. But nobody thought the coin they made to honor it would ever be worth over $1 million. It was supposed to be a collector's item, yes, but not a millionaire maker. But life has a funny way of surprising us, doesn't it? Here's the thing. Not every 2010 Mount Hood quarter is worth millions. If that were the case, we'd all be rich and I'd be filming this from a yacht. The $1 million Mount Hood quarter has some very specific traits. First off, it needs to be a 2010 with the P Mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Flip your quarter and look to the right of Washington's ponytail. That little P is what we're looking for, but the real jackpot comes from mint errors. That's right. Imperfections. Ever see someone get rich from a flaw? Well, it happens in coin collecting. The Mount Hood quarters that are worth serious money tend to have double dies, off-center strikes, or planchet errors. Basically, mistakes made during minting. Double die errors show up when the coin's image is struck twice, creating a shadow or doubling effect, especially noticeable in the lettering. That means United States of America might look like it had one too many cups of coffee. There are even a few known examples with missing edge reads, extra metal blobs, called cuds, and rotated dies. Each of those details can bump your quarter's value from 25 cents to life-changing dollars. One reason is rarity. There are very few Mount Hood quarters with these mint errors in pristine condition. And when I say pristine, I mean graded by companies like PCGS or NGC with high scores MS67 or higher. That's mint state level cleanliness. Basically, no scratches, no signs of wear, just pure shining glory. A few of these high-grade Mount Hood P quarters with visible double die errors have made waves at auctions. One sold in a private collector's auction for $1.2 million. That's right. Someone paid 7 figures for a quarter. Makes you want to go through your piggy bank with a microscope, doesn't it? Now before you go tossing your kids off the Wi-Fi so you can search eBay for 2010 quarters, take it slow. Most of them are still worth just 25 cents. But the rare ones? They're out there, folks. You just have to know what to look for. Let me tell you a little story that still makes me laugh and cringe. Back in 2015, I was helping my cousin clean out his old Ford Bronco. We were getting ready to sell it and he handed me a sandwich bag full of quarters that had been living in the glove compartment since Bush was president. Naturally, I dumped them into the coin jar on the kitchen counter. But one quarter caught my eye. Mount Hood. P Mint mark. Slight doubling on Liberty. I paused. Thought maybe it was a trick of the light. Nah, just a regular coin, I told myself. Fast forward 3 years. I'm watching an episode of Antiques Roadshow and they're talking about $1 million Mount Hood quarter. I nearly spit out my coffee. I ran to the coin jar, but guess what? My wife had taken it to the grocery store the week before. Gone. Poof. Into the economy. So yes, I may have spent $1 million coin on a bag of onions and frozen peas. Lesson learned. Always check your coins, my friends. Let's get practical. If you think you've got a 2010 Mount Hood P quarter, here's what you do. First, get a good magnifying glass. We're not talking some dollar store magnifier. Get one with at least 10x zoom, check for those features we mentioned: double die, missing reads, rotation errors, then look at the condition. Scratches, discoloration, and wear will bring the value down fast. If your quarter still looks like it just came off the press, you're in better shape than most. If it looks promising, don't clean it. I know that sounds crazy, but collectors want original condition. Cleaning it might actually destroy its value. Get it graded. PCGS or NGC are the gold standards. They'll examine it, verify it, and give you a grade that can be used at auction. Then, get in touch with coin dealers or auction houses. There are specialists out there who handle rare coins, and they'll help you sell to the right buyer. Don't list it on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace for $10 and a sandwich. Here's how you can turn this into a long-term hustle. Go to the bank and ask for $10 or $20 in quarters. Search through them at home and look for valuable errors. Old collections often get overlooked. I found a wheat penny at a yard sale once that sold for $450. Not a million, but hey, lunch is on me. Websites like CoinTalk or Reddit's or /coins are full of collectors sharing discoveries and giving advice. The official Red Book is a Bible for US coin values. It's like fishing. You might not catch anything today, but the next cast could change your life. The legendary 2010 P Mount Hood quarter. A little 25-cent piece that could be your ticket to a whole new life. It's stories like these that remind us why coin collecting is more than just a quirky hobby. It's history, it's treasure hunting, and sometimes, just sometimes, it's $1 million miracle hiding in plain sight. Before you go turning your couch cushions inside out, do me a favor, hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Share this with a friend who always ignores loose change. And most importantly, subscribe for more coin secrets, hidden treasures, and ways to turn pocket change into a fortune. This is your channel name, reminding you never underestimate a coin. You might just be holding a piece of history worth more than your car. Hey there, coin hunters and change checkers. Ever toss a quarter into a vending machine and wonder, did I just give away a fortune for a pack of Skittles? Well, today you might think twice before spending your spare change, because we're talking about a 1966 no-mint Mark Washington quarter dollar that's now worth a jaw-dropping $1.30 million. That's right. One coin. 25 cents when it was made. Worth over $1 million today. No, this isn't a prank. No, it's not Monopoly money. And no, I'm not your crazy uncle who says he paid for college with a bottle cap collection. This is real. And by the time we're done, you're gonna be racing to dig through your sock drawer, couch cushions, piggy banks, and maybe even your neighbor's piggy bank. Just don't get arrested, alright? So buckle up. Grab a cup of coffee, or a bucket of popcorn, whatever you need. Because for the next 50 minutes, we're going deep into the story of the 1966 Washington quarter, why it's so rare, what makes it special, and most importantly, how you can spot one and maybe change your life. Let's roll. Alright, let's hop in the time machine. The year? 1966. The Beatles were still together. Gas was 32 cents a gallon. And the US Mint was going through what we call the Great Coin Crisis. No joke, silver prices were soaring, coin hoarding was at an all-time high, and the government had a serious problem. Everyone was yanking silver coins out of circulation, thinking they'd be worth more later. So in 1965, the Mint made a big move. They got rid of silver in quarters completely. Starting then, quarters were made of copper-nickel clad instead of 90% silver. And by 1966, the silver quarter was officially history. And here's where things get spicy: not all 1966 quarters were created equal. You've probably noticed that modern quarters have little letters on them: P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, S for San Francisco. But during the mid-60s, the Mint actually stopped putting mint marks on coins entirely. From 1965 to 1967, all coins came out mint markless to discourage collectors from hoarding them based on where they were made. So, a 1966 quarter without a mint mark? That's normal, but here's the twist: some of those 1966 no mint mark quarters? They weren't just ordinary clad coins. A few of them were struck on leftover silver planchets, basically blank silver discs that were supposed to be retired in 1964. Now we've got a rogue batch of silver coins masquerading as clad coins in 1966 clothing. That's like showing up to a pajama party in a tuxedo. Something ain't right, and if you've got one of those few silver 1966 quarters, you're holding a major minting error and $1 million payday. This rare quarter was accidentally struck on a silver planchet from a previous year. It looks slightly different, lighter color, slightly heavier, and gives off a different ring when dropped on a table. The $1 million versions are in pristine, almost uncirculated condition. Think of it like a classic car, mint condition is everything. Some rare versions have a mirror-like surface. If it gleams like a disco ball in a coin flip, you might be in luck. The big sales come from coins certified by companies like PCGS or NGC. If they confirm your quarter is the real deal, get ready to start house hunting. A buddy of mine, let's call him Joe because that's his name, was cleaning out his grandfather's coin jar after he passed. Joe didn't know squat about coins. But one quarter looked different, kind of shiny, kind of heavier. He tossed it in his glove box and forgot about it. 6 months later, he stumbled across a video like this one, had the coin checked out, and let's just say, Joe doesn't drive a rusty Honda anymore. True story. So how do you check your own quarters without accidentally dropping $1.3 million into a soda machine? Drop it on a hard surface. Silver rings with a high-pitched sound. Clad coins sound duller. Silver coins have a consistent color on the edge. Modern clad coins have a copper stripe. Use a jeweler's loupe to check for sharp details and any oddities. If you're even suspicious you've got the $1 million coin, send it in to be graded. It could change your life. While you're at it, don't just look for the silver planchet error. Other 1966 quarter errors can be worth thousands. Looks like the coin was printed halfway off the machine. You'll see doubled letters or numbers, especially in the date or Liberty. Part of the coin is missing because it was clipped during minting. Even if you don't hit the $1.3 million jackpot, these errors can fetch hundreds or thousands on the market. If you've got a 1966 no mint mark quarter, don't assume it's just lunch money. That little coin could be the key to your dream home, your retirement fund, or the trip to Hawaii you've been talking about since 1999. Just imagine turning a quarter into $1 million. That's a return on investment Warren Buffett would envy. Dig through old jars, coin rolls, dresser drawers, and grandma's cookie tins. Weigh your 1966 quarters, and if anything looks or feels different, don't wait. Have it professionally graded. Now if this video got you thinking, laughing, or reaching for your coin stash, do me a solid. Hit that subscribe button. We've got more videos coming your way on rare coins, cash in your pocket strategies, and how to turn ordinary change into extraordinary wealth. Drop a comment if you think you've got something rare. We might even feature it in a future video. And remember, don't just spend your change. Study it, because the next time you find a 25-cent piece, it could just be $1.3 million in disguise. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Let me ask you something. What if I told you that one little coin jingling in your pocket, sitting in your junk drawer, or lost in the cushions of your grandma's old couch could make you a millionaire overnight? Now, I know you're thinking, come on, that sounds like something from a late-night infomercial, right? But today, I've got news that might just have you diving headfirst into that jar of coins you've been ignoring for years. We're talking about the 1995 P. Washington quarter. Yep. A regular OL quarter. Not gold. Not diamond encrusted. Just your average looking 25-cent coin that's now worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million in today's collector's market. I'm not joking, and I'm not selling you anything. I'm just here to blow your mind and maybe make you a little richer in the process. So grab a drink, get comfy, and let's dig into the fascinating story of how a humble quarter from 1995 turned into one of the most sought-after coins in the world. And stick around to the end, because I've got some insider tips on how to spot the real deal and avoid the fakes, and I'll even share a personal story about the time I almost threw away a coin that could have changed my life. Let's go coin hunting. So, before we dive into the $1 million madness, let's set the stage. The 1995 P. Washington quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, hence the little P mint mark on the obverse side, just under the motto "In God We Trust." The obverse, or front of the coin, still featured good old George Washington, as it had since 1932. Now, in 1995, there was nothing particularly rare about the quarter. The mint churned out over 1.1 billion of them. That's billion with a B. But as any seasoned collector will tell you, sometimes, rarity isn't just about how many were made. It's about how many have survived in pristine, untouched condition, and more importantly, how many have wild, freaky minting errors that slipped through the cracks, which brings us to the most valuable 1995p Washington quarter isn't just any quarter. Nope. It's one with a very specific, dramatic mint error. We're talking about double dies, off-center strikes, and in some rare cases, a clash die that left ghostly images on the coin's surface. And now, here's the kicker: there are a handful of 1995p quarters that have been discovered with an extreme doubling on the obverse. That means George's face and the inscriptions around him look like they've had one too many espressos. Everything's blurry, like it was stamped twice. This type of error is called double die obverse, and it can increase a coin's value like crazy. For the 1995p quarter, one of these super rare double die versions, in mint condition, recently sold for over $1.6 million at auction. Why? Because of its combination of rarity, condition, and demand from collectors who go wild for extreme errors like this. And trust me, they'll pay the big bucks for coins that stand out from the rest. First, check the mint mark. If it's got a P under "In God We Trust," you're in the right zone. Second, grab a magnifying glass or even use your phone's zoom camera. You're looking for clear signs of doubling. Look closely at the word Liberty, the date, and Washington's eye. If the letters seem thick, fuzzy, or like they've been stamped twice, you might just be holding a jackpot. Third, condition matters. Mint state or uncirculated coins are worth the most. That means the coin looks practically brand new, with no scratches, no wear and tear, and a shiny surface. Oh, and one last thing, don't clean it ever. Coin collectors prefer coins in their original condition. Even if it's got a bit of tarnish, leave it be. You'd be shocked how many people ruin a perfectly valuable coin with a little soap and water. And now, let me tell you about the time I almost tossed away a small fortune. So a few years back, I was cleaning out my dad's old coin jar. You know, the one dusty, crusty, filled with pennies that looked like they fought in World War II. And in the middle of that mess, I spotted a shiny 1995 quarter. Something about it just looked off. The lettering seemed thicker, and George had this weird shadow around his face. I figured, probably just a smudge. I was this close to tossing it in the change machine at the grocery store when my nephew said, "Uncle Ray, isn't that one of those error coins?" Turns out the little guy had been watching coin videos on YouTube. Smart kid. I pulled out my phone, zoomed in, and my jaw hit the floor. Doubling. Clear as day. I almost had a heart attack. Now, I didn't get $1.6 million for it, but I did sell it to a collector for a 5-figure sum that helped me pay off some credit card debt and take a much-needed vacation. Always check your change. Always listen to your nephew. Coin collectors are like treasure hunters. And what they want more than anything is uniqueness. Mint errors like the one on the 1995p quarter are like finding a typo in the Declaration of Independence. They're freaks of nature, accidents that turned into gold mines, and it's not just the die errors. Some collectors pay top dollar for coins with unusual toning, die cracks, or even planchet flaws, like when a coin is struck on the wrong type of metal. So if you've got a weird-looking coin, don't dismiss it. It might just be the oddball that turns into $1 million miracle. The 1995p Washington quarter might seem like just another coin in the couch cushions, but as we've learned, it could also be your golden ticket. Go through your coins. Every single one. Check those quarter jars, old wallets, glove boxes, and junk drawers. Use your phone or a magnifier to look for doubling on the 1995p quarters. If you think you've got something special, take it to a professional coin appraiser or a reputable dealer. Don't sell it on a whim. If you liked this video, learned something new, or just enjoyed the ride, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I've got loads more videos coming your way with real coin values, secret strategies, and insider tips that'll help you turn your spare change into serious cash. Also, drop a comment and let me know if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're planning to raid Grandma's house this weekend to check her coin stash. Hey, welcome back, coin hunters and couch collectors. Buckle up because today we are diving deep into a regular old pocket change that's not so regular after all. It's shiny, it's familiar, and it might just be your ticket to becoming a millionaire. Now hold on to your flip-flops because this might shock you. A 1998p Washington quarter dollar, yeah, the one you probably used to buy a gumball back in the day, could now be worth up to $1.7 million. That's right. Not $17, not $1,700, we're talking full-on millionaire money from one lonely little quarter. You might want to go raid that jar of coins your grandma keeps next to the remote control, because today we're talking about the 1998 P quarter and what makes this unassuming little slice of metal such a superstar. Stick around to the end, because I've got some tips on how to tell if your quarter is the golden goose, plus a personal story about how I nearly threw away a coin that could have paid off my entire mortgage and then some. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1998 P Washington quarter was minted in Philadelphia, hence the P mint mark. Over 896 million of these coins were struck. That's a whole lot of change. So, you might be thinking, how the heck can something so common be worth over $1 million? Well, that's where things get juicy. Because hidden among all those millions of quarters are a few very rare versions with minting errors, exceptional condition, or both. And when collectors see something like that, the bidding paddles come out, and the prices go through the roof. There are a few reasons. First off, mint errors. These can be things like double dies, off-center strikes, planchet errors, you name it. And if your 1998 P quarter has one of these weird quirks, it just might be special enough to command big money. Another key is condition. The more pristine, the better. Coins that are graded MS67 or higher, that's mint state, for you beginners, are considered collector gold. A nearly flawless quarter from 1998? That's like finding a vintage Mustang that's never left the garage. Now let's talk about the coin, the legendary 1998 P quarter that sold for $1.7 million at auction. This baby was flawless. We're talking near perfect strike, shimmering luster, no signs of wear, like it had been wrapped in a cloud and cradled by angels since 1998. It also had a rare die variety, a double die reverse that only a handful of experts have ever seen. The auction went nuts. Bidding started at 6 figures, and it climbed faster than a squirrel on espresso. When the gavel came down, someone walked away with a shiny little quarter worth more than most houses. Great question. First, grab a magnifying glass or use the zoom on your phone. Look closely at the reverse side, that's the side with the eagle. If you notice any doubling in the text, like on the words quarter dollar or United States of America, you might have a double die reverse. That little P on the front, make sure it looks right. Sometimes the shape or placement can be a clue to a rare variety. Next, check the condition. Is it shiny? Are there any scratches or wear on Washington's cheek? If not, you might want to send it off for grading. Alright, time for a little story. A couple years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. You know, dusty old boxes, spiderwebs, VHS tapes, the usual. In one of the boxes was this old Folgers coffee tin packed with coins. Now, being the curious coin nerd I am, I took a peek. Nothing fancy, a bunch of state quarters and wheat pennies. But I did see a super shiny 1998 P quarter in there. I almost kept it, but my uncle was like, toss it in with the rest. I'll cash it in later. Well, guess what? That exact coin, had a weird-looking mint mark. And I didn't think anything of it until months later when I saw an article about the $1 million 1998 P quarter with the odd mint mark and doubled reversed. Let's just say I now lose sleep thinking that I might have tossed away $1 million coin for a stale cup of diner coffee. A first step, get that coin graded. PCGS and NGC are the top 2 companies. They'll authenticate it, grade it, and seal it up in a fancy holder that proves it's legit. After that, you'll want to consult a rare coin dealer or auction house. Don't just list it on eBay and hope for the best. A pro can help you get top dollar, and avoid scammers while you're at it. And hey, if it is worth $1.7 million? Take a picture. Frame it. Tattoo it on your arm if you want. Because you just joined the Millionaires Club, and you did it with a quarter point 1970s quarters with overstrikes from Canadian coins, 2004 Wisconsin quarters with extra leaves, 1999 Delaware quarters with major die breaks, and of course, any silver quarter from before 1965 has some serious melt value too. Your change might just be your retirement plan, if you're looking closely. Alright folks, that's the wild story of the 1998 P Washington quarter worth $1.7 million. From a coin you could have gotten in change at a laundromat, to a life-changing windfall. Go dig through those couch cushions, check under the car seat, call your aunt who keeps a stash of coins in an old cookie tin. You never know what treasure is hiding in plain sight. And hey, if you enjoyed hanging out and learning about millionaire-making coins, do me a favor, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications. I've got more videos coming up that'll blow your coin-loving mind. Want tips on how to sell your rare pennies for top dollar? Wondering what your old nickels might be worth? Or just want to avoid being the guy who accidentally spends a $2 million coin on a soda? Then you're in the right place. Hey coin hunters, welcome back to the channel where your pocket change could make you a millionaire. You heard that right. So before you chuck that quarter into a vending machine for a bag of chips, hold on tight because that 25-cent piece might actually be worth $1.8 million. Yeah, I said million, with an M. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most underrated, overlooked coins in circulation, the 2020p mint mark Ware Farm quarter. Yup, the one with the guy painting. Looks innocent enough, right? But there's a version of this coin that has collectors foaming at the mouth and auction houses swinging bids like it's the Super Bowl of numismatics, and I know what you're thinking. How can a coin made just a few years ago already be worth more than your cousin's brand new truck? Well, buckle up. We're going into detail about what makes this quarter a jackpot, how to spot the valuable one, and a personal story about how I almost spent one at a toll booth. You don't want to miss this. So, if you're into coins, hidden treasures, and avoiding million-dollar mistakes, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and ring that bell like it's the ice cream truck. Let's get rich off a quarter, shall we? Let's set the stage. The Ware Farm quarter is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program. Each coin in this series celebrates a national park or site, and the Ware Farm coin pays tribute to Ware Farm National Historic Site in Connecticut, a place known as the only national park dedicated to American painting. That's right. This place is all about creativity, brush strokes, and a whole lot of trees. Released in 2020, the Ware Farm quarter features an artist, allegedly Julian Alden Ware himself, painting in plein air. That's a fancy French term meaning painting outdoors or painting in bug-infested humidity, depending on who you ask. Now, the coin itself is pretty common. Millions were struck. But, and here's the million-dollar kicker, not all coins are created equal. You'll notice a little P on the obverse side of the coin, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. That P means it was minted in Philadelphia. And out of all the Ware Farm quarters out there, the Philadelphia Mint gave birth to a very rare breed of error coin that collectors are drooling over. This isn't your average circulation coin. It's a rare, high-grade, perfectly preserved, error-laced, possibly double-die, potentially mistruck, maybe even off-center Ware Farm quarter that's been graded MS68 or higher. That's Mint State 68, folks. That's like finding a French fry in your bag that's still hot. It's rare. It's beautiful. And it's worth more than most houses. Okay, here's where things get juicy. This specific Ware Farm quarter sold for $1.8 million because of a few wild and specific features: no scratches, no wear, no bag marks. A coin so pristine you'd think it never saw daylight. The lettering on Washington's face, like Liberty and In God We Trust, may have visible doubling, making it a double die error. This happens during the minting process and is incredibly rare, struck on wrong planchet. Some ultra-rare versions were mistakenly struck on planchets meant for other coins. That mistake can be the difference between a quarter and $250,000. A few known errors were slightly off-center, creating a unique visual and serious collector appeal. Combine any of these traits, or all, and you're looking at a retirement plan wrapped in copper and nickel. A few years ago, I was driving through Connecticut, ironically, heading toward a state park for a weekend hike. Pulled up to one of those old-fashioned toll booths, the kind where you toss quarters into a bucket and hope you hear the clink. I reached into my little dashboard stash of coins, you know the one, filled with loose change, tic-tacs, and one dried-out ketchup packet from 2014. I grabbed a handful and tossed in 2 quarters. That night, back at the cabin, I emptied my pockets and realized something weird. I had a Ware Farm quarter, pristine, shiny, and flawless. My gut told me to look it up. I spent the next hour comparing it to photos online, looking for errors, inspecting the doubling, the strike, the luster, the mint mark. Turns out, the one I didn't spend was just a regular coin. But the one I did throw into the toll bucket? That one had a slight off-center strike and doubling on the lettering. You know that slow-motion horror feeling, like when you drop your phone screen first onto concrete? That's what I felt. I still think about that coin, sitting somewhere in the Connecticut Department of Transportation's coin jar, living its best million-dollar life. You'll need it to see doubling or fine details. Check that obverse side. If it doesn't have the P, you're out of luck. Double dies, off-center strikes, and planchet errors are what you want. If it shines like it just rolled off the press, that's a good sign. If it looks promising, send it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading, and please, don't just throw it into the Coinstar machine. That's like putting gold bars in a gumball machine. You might think it's just a coin. But here's the deal, coins are time capsules. They tell stories, carry history, and sometimes carry life-changing value. The 2020 P Were Farm Quarter is proof that even recent coins can have insane value if you know what to look for. Plus, think about it. How many people are walking around with valuable coins in their pockets right now and have no idea? That's the fun of it. You're not just collecting coins, you're going on a treasure hunt, alright, coin hunters. There you have it, the story of how a simple 2020 P Were Farm Quarter could be your ticket to a millionaire lifestyle. It's not just about luck. It's about awareness, patience, and a little bit of obsession. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just a curious soul digging through your couch cushions, never underestimate the power of pocket change. Because one day, that 25-cent coin might buy you a mansion, a sports car, or maybe even just a better couch to dig through. And now, before you go flipping through your change jar like a maniac, do me a solid. Smash that like button if you learned something new today. Hit subscribe for more coin hunting strategies, tips, and stories. And turn on those notifications so you don't miss the next episode. We've got coins worth hundreds, thousands, and yes, even millions.